My name is Anne, and I am 42. I have been divorced for almost 2 years, not quite. Separated for close to 3. I have 2 kids. My daughter Ellie just turned 13. Yay! And then my son Reed is 10. And we just bought our own house like a year ago. And so I was in denial for a long time that our marriage was over. When I first really absorbed that, I was scared to death. That's an understatement. I remember thinking, how am I going to do this all on my own? From simple things of getting my own cell phone bill to getting to handling all the daily things by myself, to telling my kids about this. But I was just so overwhelmed I didn't even know how to take the first step. So the realization that I could not financially go get another place and do this on my own, and needing to move back into my parents' house again, was not only deflating for me as an adult, but I felt like I had failed because I was getting a divorce. I felt like I failed because I could not provide a place to live for my kids. However, I also knew at the same time, the fact that I had them as a resource, I had these 2 people who loved me so much, and they told me from the beginning, we're with you. We are a team, we've got you. We're gonna get through this. So when I was at my parents' house and trying to get things kind of situated, I was laying out my finances on my brother's old bed, actually, and I started looking at all the numbers, and I'm like, holy crap, how am I gonna do this? I don't know how I'm gonna do this. And so I came upon the idea that I need to go get a second job. Because typically social workers have a hard time sending their kids to private school and all the other lifestyle things that we had. And my number one priority was to not change the things in my kids' life that I didn't have to, because everything else had changed. I was not gonna pull them out of that private school that they were so loved and so welcomed and so taken care of there. So that meant me having to find out how I was gonna pay for it. So I decided to waitress on the side. And I was scared. I was actually really nervous. I don't really know why. I hadn't waited tables in 20 years. And to be with all these younger people who knew what they were doing, and I was so afraid I was gonna drop stuff everywhere. And so I was nervous, but I was up for the challenge at the same time. And I thought it'd be kind of good to kind of get me out of the house too and keep me busy, because time without my kids was a real struggle too. And it was a really hard time. The divorce had just been settled. We were living with my parents. Christmas had just ended, and things just seemed really, really hard at that time. And then all this money stuff was going on. And I got a unanimous gift from someone who left money in my mailbox for me. And it said, we really respect how hard you work for you and your kids. And we wanted to help. And it was $2,000. And to a lot of people, that doesn't seem like a whole lot of money. But when you open an envelope and it's all cash and it's from someone you don't even know, it changes your life. And I seriously believe that was God sent that person to do that for me, to show me it's gonna be okay. And ever since then, our life just kind of kept going in the right direction. Within 4 months, we bought our own house, and I'm so proud. Like, I am just really, really proud. Someone told me that they didn't want to get divorced only because they didn't want to be apart from their kids, or they wanted to raise their kids in a 2-parent family. First of all, I can't walk in their shoes. I can't tell them what to do. I can tell them from my own experience that I think it's more detrimental to children to raise them in an environment where it's not healthy, it's not nurturing, and it's kind of fake. I mean, if you don't really love that person that you are co-parenting with, you're kind of living a lie. And you obviously know that, and you're hurting inside, so you are not functioning as a healthy adult or parent either. You're talking to a person who thought they could never do it on their own. Not only because she was scared and insecure, but because she was a Christian and definitely believed that you should not get divorced. Like, you don't get divorced. Her parents were married for over 50 years, and she was the first one in her family friend group, her family, and most people in their inner circle that ever got divorced. You just don't get divorced. I remember when I was thinking about staying, or thinking about not getting divorced, like what my options were. And I remember thinking, my kids are watching me. My son is watching me and learning how to treat a woman later. And my daughter is watching and learning how a woman should be treated and how what she should look for in the future. And I think that I've shown them that you can do things that you don't think you can do. I've shown them that you can handle things that you don't think you can handle. And I think ultimately I've shown them that I don't know what's ahead, but I'm embracing it, and I feel like I'm doing the very best I can, and trying to make this whole little world, my whole little life, my own, and figuring out who this chick is. So